If you think you're seeing things, you're not. But what you are about to see and hear are the stories told by the voices that until now have never had that chance. I'm Dave Stevens, adjunct professor at Quinnipiac University. Despite being born without legs, I spent 37 years in television, 20 at ESPN, and I won 7 Emmys. But despite seen and unseen disabilities, they haven't had opportunities until now. Welcome to Ability Media. Right here in the Ed McMahon Communications Center, we are making media by us, for us. Content, stories to inspire and to educate. And the programming all begins right here in 3, 2, 1. Hello everyone, I'm Dave Stevens and welcome to the inaugural episode of Ability Media Now. Ability Media is the program at Quinnipiac University in which students with seen and unseen disabilities work hand in hand to create content, news, and production to showcase stories related to the world of the differently abled. The world of the disabled is the biggest minority on the planet, and thanks to Quinnipiac University, we now have a bigger voice and a platform. And ironically, October is National Disability Employment Awareness Month, and I've been working in television for over 38 years, despite being born without legs. But a dream job at ESPN brought me to Connecticut in 1995, and I spent over 20 years at the worldwide leader in sports. However, recently I had a chance to sit down with an old friend who just happens to be a Hall of Fame announcer, Chriis Berman. Boomer and I talked a little bit about his career memories, but it also gave me a chance to ask him what it was like for a big Disney-owned corporation like ESPN to have someone with a disability in such a pivotal role. Hi again everybody, Dave Stevens, and the man next to me, he doesn't really need an introduction because he's a legend. But more than a legend, he's a friend. A guy that I grew up watching on TV and then had the opportunity to work with for 20 years. He is Chriis Berman, and Boomer, thanks for spending a little time with me. This is one of the few times we ever get to catch up, but it's great to see you.
Cat, we call him Cat. Dave, great to see you, pal.
Hey,
nice
it's great to see you in person. I mean, he texts now, and that's you've caught up with the world.
That's somewhat.
You're still on TV after all these years. Did you think in '79 that you'd still be in people's homes and still have a fan base and people that love Boomer?
No, it's not about me. I mean, I'm able 42 years later. I was 24 when I started ESPN, as you know. We didn't know would we be on a few years later. So I'm foolish. They're foolish enough to keep me around is what I'm trying to tell you.
Well, I'm glad you're still there. And I look back to the memories and, you know, the way you embraced me. I was this little 29-year-old kid from Minnesota, you know, coming up, and you give me the nickname Cat, you know, Cat Stevens. But I also was like the very first disabled person at ESPN, and I think it was a unique culture for people to get to know me. And I've often wondered, you know, was there apprehension at first, or did it evolve to where I became just Dave, a regular guy? I've often wondered, you know, because I was the only one at the beginning, what that was like to work with somebody with a disability.
No, we didn't look at you any differently. Again, that's the quote proper thing to say. Well, first of all, as we got to know you two, so I will say only this: despite your daily life and what it took for you to even get to work for I'd like to say the 8 hours, but more the 10 or 11 hours that we would work together on a given day. On occasion, we thought about, what's it like for Dave to go home? And then we'd feel lucky, but you wouldn't want us to feel that way. And we knew that also. You're unique more than we are, okay? I'll just leave it at that.
All right. I wasn't looking for the accolade.
I know that.
Thank you. As we wrap up, I know you get put on the spot all the time, but, you know, I pick memories that I've seen, the things that you've covered. Is there that one moment in sports? Was it with your dad? Was it on a field? Like that one moment that every now and then just pops up as that moment of your life, just that was it?
September 6, 1995 was when Cal Ripken surpassed Lou Gehrig's unreachable star, as I said that night. 2,130 games played consecutively. That's 14 and a half years or whatever the number is. And I get teary and my hair sticks up on my arms when I think about it.
When I think
Because-
about your home run call, I mean, that's just
Well,
was
it's
magical.
not about
though.
me.
But here you are in that moment, and you get
And
to
he
be
hit
a
a home.
part of that moment.
Well,
you know?
When the game becomes official after the team behind bats 5 times, which was California at the Angels. And the number came down on the warehouse. 2, 1, 3, and the 0 became a 1. And Cal made that lap. Buck Martinez and I and the production crew were smart enough to say nothing. This isn't lauding me. You want to know why I said nothing? We were crying. Not all 22 minutes.
Right.
Tears of happiness. I'm tearing up a little now. And Joe DiMaggio was in the stadium representing Lou Gehrig. That's pretty heavy, right? I mean, and there are others, his dad and mom, and I mean, we could go on and on. Earl Weaver and Brooke Robinson and the back. The Joe DiMaggio was there representing my teammate, Lou Gehrig. Okay, this is 1995. Lou's not been with us for 60 years. That was a night for America, and going to work, more than just, hey, it's a great baseball moment, it's a good record. No. So what's scary about it is I'm giving you the highlight of that's 26 years ago already, so I don't know, I hope I have another one, but that would be the one, because it was larger than baseball or even sports. And I know everybody who watched it remembers where they were, not because we did it,
Yeah.
but they remember.
Okay, last question. Hopefully, in 20 or 30 years, what do you want to be known for? What's your tombstone? What's your I call it my legacy, but what's your legacy?
You know what? If they put on my tombstone, and I know you well enough to know it, the same with you. Forget everything else. He was a good guy. Just put that on there. Not that he did the hell with it. He was a good guy. I'm good. You know, my kids could read that, or my grandkids could read that. He was a good guy. Yeah, maybe he was. Although your kids always like, Dad, you know. Grandkid I have a better shot with, you know, but look, I'm sure if they put that on yours, you'd be pretty satisfied, wouldn't you, Dave?
Yeah, I'll take up less of a casket too. I only have to buy half, so
See, you're
compact.
I told you about your attitude. You're unbelievable.
Well, talk about
and we
nice
knew that
guys.
early.
You are a nice guy, Chriis Berman. Thank you for spending some time. It was supposed to be 2 minutes, but as we know,
Oh,
you
come
know,
on.
there's no time.
I can't say hello in 2 minutes. So let alone, and look, we don't get a chance to visit as longtime friends that much on camera or without, and I wish you luck with your newest endeavors, because your compass, my friend, is always pointed north.
Oh, thank you.
Despite whatever life, and it's given you a lot rougher than any of us will ever know ourselves. It's always pointed north, and it continues to point north. And if this is for a class or for those, keep your compass pointing north, whatever it is that, even when things are going great, when it's quote easy, keep your compass going north, because things often don't go great. Keep your compass pointing north.
Chriis Berman, thanks, brother. Love you so much, man.
Take care of yourself, pal. All right.
ESPN now has much more diversity in their hiring process for those with physical challenges. They also have many great ERG groups to support those initiatives. As for Chriis Berman, he's still contributing to NFL coverage and other ESPN programming. Still ahead, I get a fashion makeover and an award as some Ability Media students join me for the Runway of Dreams fashion revolution in New York recently. We'll hear from one of the models and the reporter who experienced the night of a lifetime. That's coming up next on Ability Media Now. Stay with us.
Ability Media is expanding. In Quinnipiac University's Ed McMahon Communications Center, 18 middle and high school students were given the opportunity to get their hands on professional film equipment and learn all about making content from Quinnipiac faculty and Ability Media staff. From podcasts to animation to news stories and more, there are endless possibilities at the Ability Media Summer Camp.
Welcome back to Ability Media Now. Recently, I had the privilege to be honored by the Runway of Dreams Foundation as their Inspirational Man of the Year at their Fashion Week Gala in New York City. Mindy Shire started Runway of Dreams to work with clothing designers to create clothing that's designed for special needs and those with disabilities. Now, that success has led to major sponsors like JCPenney and Kohl's to now offer those clothing options to the consumers. Quinnipiac graduate Alina Galan was also a runway model, and Ability Media reporter Will Dean was also on hand to capture the evening.
We're here on the island of Manhattan, smack dab in the middle of Fashion Week. And what better event to be at than the Runway of Dreams? Mindy Shire founded it in 2014 with the aim of furthering inclusion, acceptance, and opportunities in the fashion industry for people with disabilities. Now tonight we'll be showcasing inclusive and adaptive clothing and outfits from many different brands like Tommy Hilfiger, Kohl's, and JCPenney, just to name a few. But instead of spoiling that all, let's take a look at the runway. After taking a hiatus last year for health and safety reasons, Runway of Dreams returned with renewed focus on their core mission: inclusion, acceptance, and opportunity in the fashion industry for people with disabilities. Founder Mindy Shire explained how this goal grew out of a simple wish from her son.
Runway of Dreams was created in 2014 because my son, who has muscular dystrophy, wanted to be able to wear jeans, and he couldn't manage a button or a zipper, and he just wanted to look like everyone else.
CDC data shows that 61 million, or 1 in every 4 American adults, live with some form of disability. Shire sees this as an unexplored market for fashion designers.
The fact that here we are in 2021, and we have 6 major brands on the runway coming together to say that people with disabilities need to be included, and this is a business opportunity.
The Runway of Dreams brought 6, count 'em, 6, major fashion lines showcasing innovative ideas for people of all abilities. Ability Media's own Alina Galan joined the runway procession, showing off Zappos Adaptive.
And it's important that we have the confidence to be able to walk the streets on this earth and be able to just be who we are, and even in the clothes we wear.
Emma D'Antonio modeled Kohl's new Adaptive line, featuring wheelchair-accessible pockets on the jeans' calf and a flannel with a new way to do buttons.
Yeah, they're magnets, so they just put.
U.S. Paralympic powerlifter Garrison Red felt that the night served 2 purposes. For some, it's a recognition of the unique role Runway of Dreams plays in the New York Fashion Week.
You know, representation matters, and a lot of New York Fashion Week shows really don't have representation of people with disabilities. So right here you get people from all walks of life with various disabilities showcasing how beautiful they are.
Others look at the path traveled so far. It's a celebration of achievement, the successful early stages of the intersection of fashion and disability rights.
This night is a magical night because we witnessing history in front of our eyes, and it's giving people a chance to showcase their ability.
Speaking to that ability was super agent Lee Steinberg. Presenting the Inspirational Achievement Award, he gave it to longtime friend and Ability Media's own Dave Stevens.
I'm so proud of Dave. I represent athletes who are role models, and they exhibit courage, but nothing like Dave Stevens.
From magnetic buttons to open-backed clothing, Runway of Dreams never stopped showcasing how designers transformed imagination into reality. And we're sure looking forward to next year. For Ability Media, I'm Will Dean.
And joining me now is our reporter extraordinaire for Ability Media, Will Dean, and now I can call her a supermodel, Alina Galan. And Will, first I want to know, I was in the scenes, behind the scenes enjoying it, but I need to know what that experience was like for you.
Well, nothing could have ever prepared me for what went on that night. I've never covered fashion personally, so this was my first time covering any sort of runway. And I always thought they were a bit gimmicky, a bit vain to an extent, but that was absolutely not the energy coming out of the room that night. It was beautiful to see everyone showing off their beautiful selves, and it was just a great experience.
And Elena, you've been a reality star, a podcast host, a singer. You've been before big crowds, but What was this experience like for you on the runway?
So I've modeled before, but this definitely took modeling to the next level. I never thought in my wildest dreams that I would be modeling for Runway of Dreams on Fashion Week. And on top of that, I got to model Zappos adaptive wear. And it was truly a humbling experience because it made me really realize how important clothes makes people feel confident, beautiful, and feel themselves. And I think it's important that everybody, even with a disability or who's unique, has clothes that are available to them and that fit them and are mature to their size. So it's definitely truly an amazing experience that's unforgettable.
Well, it was great to see you up there hamming it up. I know I hammed it up a little bit myself, but Will, I got to ask you, what did you notice most about seeing the dozens of kids and the adults that participating with disabilities in this very unique modeling show?
Well, it's precisely that. It's the uniqueness. It's how every outfit helped each person in their own way. For example, I talked to this girl, Emma, and I was just fascinated. She had this flannel with these magnetic buttons. I personally hate buttons, and there just everyone around there had a new way to do pockets, zippers. No, I don't like any of those, but it was that you nailed it right on the head. It was the uniqueness of each outfit that really shone through.
Elena, you touched on it a little bit earlier, but why is it so important for Mindy's vision to have everybody have accessible clothing, and why is it so important to succeed?
I definitely think Mindy's vision is important to succeed because people should be able to go to a store and be able to wear what they want, and not being able to have that full availability to feel confident and beautiful in your own clothes. I guess it's a privilege to have it, and I think that the more we look at the smaller groups, we'll be able to expand that and be able to give everybody hope and feel like themselves in clothes and be able to go out into the world with the full confidence in having that availability.
Great words, and it was such a great night, and I want to thank both of you for being part of such a great cause. So just a night of a lifetime that I'll never forget myself. For more information on Runway of Dreams or the stories offering these types of clothing, please visit runwayofdreams.org. That'll do it for this edition of Ability Media Now. Our students are busy working on our next show. Next month, we'll be showcasing a great mentoring program that Yale Volleyball has put in place for the ultimate experience for a lucky student with special needs. Please follow Ability Media on all social media platforms, and if you've got a great story idea, suggestion, or comment, please visit www.abilitymediagroup.com or drop us a note. I'm Dave Stevens for Ability Media Now.